Come on, today is a very special day. Very, very, very special day. Big up all the Arsenal supporters out there. Come on, I had to come representing today. I had to come representing today. So, for this video, this one I have to speak from the heart. I got to speak from the chest, right? How long are you willing to wait for you to become successful? How long are you willing to wait until you're able to pick up that trophy to be like, you know what? We've been through it. We've been through the ups and downs, trials and tribulations, but it was all worth it in the end. It was all worth it in the end. Triumphant. That is the word. That is the reason. That is what has happened as a result of you taking your time and working towards it. So last night I was at the Emirates, right? You know, I just had to step down with the lads, and it was good to just see the unity all over the place. It was inspiring and it was motivating. And when I sort of looked at the actual idea of it as well, you know, I had to line it up with the idea of branding, right? Because Arsenal waited, what, 22 years to be able to win a Premier League title again, right? That is an awfully long time. But then when you think of it, you don't know when you're going to get that next opportunity to shine, but you have to keep going regardless. You have to really put in the work, put in the graft, show that level of dedication, that level of determination, that level of perseverance. There's so many things that, I'm sure that you work on every single day and I work on every single day that may never see the light of day, because it's all about the stuff that you do behind the scenes that leads to the results that then mean that you become victorious in your journey, right? And as far as branding is concerned, right, you have to remember that. You have to remember that it is not a case of you just doing it a couple times here and there for a week or two, and then that's it. You have to be dedicated to the cause, right? And the way I saw so many supporters out there last night, it was crazy. And it just goes to show that their level of commitment holds no bounds towards that. And when you're building a brand, you have to think of it from the perspective of who are you doing it for? Who are you doing it for? What is your community or your ecosystem looking like in order for you to share your wins, share and showcase your wins with those who have been with you in the trenches when things weren't looking necessarily good, but yet you still persevered, you still kept it going, you were still working, you were still building, you were still working on those goals every single day until it had no choice but to bear fruit for you to be able to see the result. And you have to keep going, man. If there's any lesson that we can learn from this season alone, I suppose, and then just the result that Arsenal was able to achieve, you have to keep going, man. Like honestly, like there's not much I can really say in the process. You just have to, because you just don't know what will happen if you do it, right? And even if you do not hit the target that you were aiming for that particular time, it doesn't mean that it's not working. It doesn't mean that it's not working and it's not playing its part in terms of where you need to get to. Sometimes you just have to be persistent and you need to be patient with the idea of building and working on yourself and developing these goals and hitting different sort of objectives over time. Because when I talk about compounding, like compounding is like one of the biggest things that we can rely on to really set us apart, because the compounding works because no one is seeing you behind the scenes when you're working on all the things that you're doing, right? As far as building a brand is concerned or building a business, right? There's so many things that people will never see. They will never see it because you are the one that's working towards your goal and your dream to make it a reality in real time. There's going to be things that you would have to face alone in the process of you doing that. But then If you focus on the task at hand and you give it your all each and every day, then it will only lead to a victory. It will only lead into a title where you become victorious because you decided to not quit. You kept going and you done it for the purpose of not just yourself, but for other people, the community, the ecosystem that you built brick by brick, day in, day out. You were working towards your goal to make sure that you were able to hit that goal because you really focused on what it meant in order to build a brand, right? So with this particular video, that is all I really wanted to say, really and truly. I just want you all to know that you have to keep going. It's in your best interest to keep going. And if you are watching my content, right? If you are watching all the videos I'm producing and I'm sharing and I'm uploading on a daily basis, subscribe, rock with me, because the same ethos that I talk about, that I bring in my video content, that I share with all the stuff that I do, I apply it to myself on a day to day. And I said to myself, I am uploading one long form video every single day on YouTube, right? And it may seem crazy, it may seem mad, it may seem that I won't be able to do it, but I'm still going strong. And it's stories like this that makes me realize, and it reinforces the idea even more, that you have to keep going. You have to keep going. There's going to be things that you can improve on 100%, but you have to keep going. And then you just make those changes and you make those tweaks, as I mentioned, each and every time until you get it right. And you just keep building and building from there. And it compounds into something that you just didn't think was feasible or possible. But then you just had that level of dedication and that raw determination that you are going to hit this goal no matter what. Nothing is going to stop you, right? There isn't no one in this world that is going to stop you from being able to hit your goal, because it's bigger. The mission and the journey is a lot more bigger than just you, right? And when I saw like thousands of people yesterday, it just really reinforced what it means to be patient. And when it's your time to shine, then you got to shine bright, and you got to reinforce that point for other people to learn from as well. And then you let them know that the stuff that you're seeing now, it wasn't by luck. It wasn't by luck. It was by God's grace, 100%. But it wasn't just luck. It was the idea that you dedicated your time, your effort, your consistency to this thing, and you decided that you are going to do this no matter what, even when there was people doubting your ability, even when there were people doubting that you were able to do it, or maybe there were people that were laughing, saying that I don't know why you're doing this, or you think you can do these things. But yet you persevered, you showed up, you done the work, you put in the graft that allowed you to step into your greatness and become the champion that you are. And in actual fact, we are all champions in our own right. The only difference is, are you willing to work enough for other people to recognize it, so you are able to lift that trophy of life and present yourself as the champion that you are destined to be, right? So that's it for this video. Big up yourself, big up Arsenal each and every time. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.